Hi, this is Locke.
And this is Amanda.
Welcome to the Jenolan Caves.
It's a beautiful day. Sky falls, you feel like it's a beautiful day.
We went to the Jenolan Caves in November 2009 and we had an absolutely awesome day. The Jenolan Caves catchphrase is "Magic happens here," and I'd actually really be inclined to agree with that. I absolutely loved it there.
So we gave the Jenolan Caves experience a very enthusiastic 5 out of 5. We'll go through the good, the bad and the ugly of our experience and give our 5 hot tips for planning your trip to the Jenolan Caves at the end of this video, so watch it till the end.
So if we start off with the good, now being the anal retentive type that I am, I really do like to do my research before we go somewhere. I really like places that have a good website with heaps of information, and the Jenolan Caves website was awesome. I spent heaps of time looking at it before we went so that we could maximise our time on the just one day that we had there.
Okay, so getting around the Jenolan Caves is really easy because when you are in the precinct, you can easily see all the main landmarks. There's an undercover area where you can eat if you brought your own food. Otherwise, you can buy food at the Jenolan Caves house, and you can also go into the office and buy your tickets for the guided cave tours.
And this is just another slide here for all you people who get easily lost. The signage, it just really makes it easy to get around the Jenolan Caves area.
Okay, so to the caves themselves.
Yep.
There is a do-it-yourself tour of the Devil's Coach House and the Nettle Cave, where you can go and have a look around with one of those portable audio guides. We've got a sample of the audio guide up next.
You've noticed that many of the cave structures seem to be alive. Well, these stromatolites are alive, amongst the most ancient forms of life on Earth. Layers of cyanobacteria, also known as blue-green algae, begin to grow on a solid surface. Their sticky surface bonds with calcite crystal and a few other minerals, using a combination of sunlight and carbon dioxide to gather nutrients from moisture in their environment. When they are moist, you'll observe their distinctive greeny-blue colour.
We did the tour of Orient Cave, which had its lighting system upgraded with low energy LEDs in 2008, and seriously, this new technology creates specific effects, and it's really quite spectacular with the formations, and it really brings out the features within the cave. As the name suggests, River Cave goes through an underground river. River Cave is known for the pool of reflections, where you can see a reflection of the cave walls and ceiling in the water. So that's the picture that we've got shown there on the left hand side of that slide. Then going through to the next slide, River Cave is a little more claustrophobic than the other caves we visited. Obviously you can see me there on the left. But really, I do get a little bit claustrophobic, but I wasn't at all uncomfortable at any stage going through the River Cave.
Okay, so next we have the Temple of Baal. The Temple of Baal cave is over a shorter distance, so in the tour that goes on for an hour and a half, you really have time to take into the features of the cave there. And we have a video sample of the cave, which also has its own light and sound show in here.
We did 3 guided tours on our day at the Jenolan Caves, and every tour guide was knowledgeable and enthusiastic. They were all clearly very passionate about the caves and were really great at answering people's questions. These are some photos we took on the drive from the Jenolan Caves back to our accommodation at Blackheath in the Blue Mountains. And after our pretty long day actually at the caves, we were pretty knackered, right? So for us to go, okay, like let's get out of the car and actually take some photos when we were that tired, you know, the view was really spectacular. You know, they'd had rain recently, rolling green hills, you know, all that sort of stuff. It was just fantastic.
Okay, so we're coming up to the bad. As you can see here, the Jenolan Caves road is narrow and windy, and we got stuck behind a truck for ages. But we got some footage showing how the road can be a bit bumpy.
Okie dokie. Whoa, she's a bit bumpy.
Are we supposed to drive through here?
Yeah.
It's toilet.
Yes.
We've arrived at Caves.
Haven't we?
This is a little tour.
Switch off lights.
Oh yeah, hey look, a town down here.
So the cave tours are generally either an hour and a half, or 2 hours each. So if you're doing a few of these caves in a day, you'll be on your feet for a long time, and as Locke found out, it can get a bit tiring.
Yeah, you should see the other photos. Okay, so we're going to come up to the ugly.
And might I say that there really wasn't anything ugly in this area, so
Yeah.
there's just nothing to see here,
Yeah,
folks.
so that was good.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a quick overview of some directions. So we've got, again, just a map of Australia, and I'm pointing out the location of Blue Mountains in the state of New South Wales. Okay, close up, the Jenolan Caves are about 174 kilometres or 108 miles from Sydney. So this is about a 3-hour drive by car. Also, from the train, you can't get there by train.
So you can get to a lot of the towns around the Blue Mountains by train. You can go to places, obviously you can see the Blue Mountains line there, stopping at Wentworth Falls, Leura, Katoomba, Medlow Bath, Blackheath, Mount Victoria, Lithgow, a few places around the area. But you can't get to the caves themselves on a train line. Most people seem to get there either by car or they go on bus tours.
Well, so, okay, our hot tips.
Hot tip number 1, and this is for all you anal retentive people out there like me, but seriously for anyone, really just thoroughly check the Jenolan Caves website before you go. There are quite a few things that might be relevant for you. If you are coming by car, there aren't any petrol stations at Jenolan. Also, you can't take a camper van. Also, the Jenolan Caves, they put up a schedule of cave tours each day, which you can check on the website before you go. You may want to plan your trip around one of the musical performances that they have in the caves. They also have different events at Caves House as well. Things to note as well, if you're taking kids, some caves do have a minimum age requirement, and also if you are going there with some older people as well, there are some caves that are a little bit easier to navigate than others. And also on the website, you know, if you're interested about the history of the area, there's also information about how some of the formations in the caves got their names. So there's heaps of information on their website.
Okay, so hot tip number 2. Unless you're a very good photographer and know what you're doing, you might need to take 50 photos of the cave just to get a handful of good shots. Remember that it's very dark in the caves, even though it is lit up, it's quite dim. So yeah, take lots of photos.
Hot tip number 3 is to dress in layers. It might be hot outside, but it can get quite cool in the caves. I personally feel the cold a bit, anything under about 30 degrees, and I think it's cold, but anyway, that's me from Queensland. So yeah, definitely bring along a jumper or a jacket, even if it is a hot day.
Okay, good. So number 4, Initially, we were just considering doing a day trip to the Blue Mountains from Sydney, but when we saw that the Jenolan Caves weren't much further, we decided to stay for 2 nights at Blackheath. We'd recommend you get a hire car so that you can come and go as you please, and obviously to the Jenolan Caves, as Amanda mentioned before, you really do need a car, or you'd have to join a tour group, but we just found having our own car gave us a lot more flexibility to see all the other things in the Blue Mountains area as well. You really need 1 or 2 days at the Jenolan Caves, a day to see all the lookouts in the Blue Mountains area, and a day just to relax or just do some of the walks. So all in all, we think 3 to 4 day minimum in the area is really what you'd need.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So hot tip number 5 would be the town of Blackheath. We found that to be a really good base in the area because it's just away from the main tourist hub of Katoomba, where it's easy to check out all the Blue Mountains, and then also it's about an hour's drive from the Jenolan Caves. And yeah, we just thought also that Govetts Leap lookout, which is the panoramic shot in the middle there, was a really nice lookout, and yeah, worth going to if you're in the area. So yeah, be sure to check out our other videos on the Blue Mountains area if you are planning a trip there. And obviously up the top of that slide there we've got a dirty great big arrow pointing to the subscribe button, so yeah, please feel free to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more real travel tips from us as real travellers.
Alright, this is Locke.
And this is Amanda.
Goodbye.
Thanks.